Bonjour, comment ça va?
John, congratulations. You've had more than your share of championship victories throughout your career, but I guess this one might feel a little different, a little special. I guess can you put into words what this one means to you?
I'm just so grateful. I'm very grateful. Um, Without my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, I would have never made it this far. And I just want to acknowledge Him in everything that I am and everything that I do. I want to thank everybody out there who prayed for me. I felt their energy, and I'm very grateful. This fight means a lot. It means a lot. Uh, I'm humbled by it, and it just goes to show that no matter what happens in life, if you just continue to strive, put one foot in front of the other, the sky's the limit, and this world really can be your oyster. Um, I've never felt more at peace. I've never felt more happy. Last night at my fight dinner, I almost cried. I felt like I was living in a dream. I looked around and I just saw so many leaders. A lot of my friends these days are great business owners. They're great dads. They're great friends. They're men of substance. Um, I got really great men and women in my life. My fiance, my beautiful daughters, my fiance's support system, her friends. Um, yeah, I'm just really happy. I'm really happy. I feel like my whole world is a byproduct of the people that are in my life. So I just want to thank every single one of my supporters, my fans. Without them, I wouldn't be much. Love you too.
Can you talk about the feeling as you stepped in there tonight, right? I mean, it's been 3 years. You're up a weight class against a very big dude. I mean, was there a different nervous kind of energy than usual when you got in there?
I mean, Ciryl Gane has a great physique. Let's we all know that the guy looks like a bodybuilder. Um, but my coaches reminded me, John, Thiago Santos had a really awesome physique. Uh, Vitor Belfort had muscles in his earlobes, and and so it was just like it's not a bodybuilding competition. At the end of the day, it's about heart, it's about grit, it's about wanting to be out there. And my buddy Brian McKenzie, he said something to me right before I went out to the cage. He said like neurologically, a cow and a lion, they feel the same emotions when they're fighting. They're both pumped up with adrenaline. He said the only difference is the lion actually wants to be there. And it was a perfect thing to say to me in a moment because I was nervous. And he reminded me, bro, it's normal. And do you want to be here? And at that moment, I was like, oh yeah, I want to be here, and I want more. And I just went out there with a very offensive mindset, and we got it done. I'm not sure if I answered your question or not. I'm just talking.
That's all right. And talk to me. I mean, obviously, we knew the wrestling skills would be there, but at heavyweight, you hadn't wrestled at heavyweight before. So I guess how did it feel in there? Was it more difficult? Did you feel the strength as an issue when you went through the wrestling sequences?
I really do believe that I'm one of the strongest heavyweights in the heavyweight division. When I was a light heavyweight, people would say all the time, John is a lot stronger than what he appears to be. Almost every opponent, can say that. And now that I've been powerlifting and living a martial arts lifestyle, I really truly believe that I'm the strongest heavyweight in the heavyweight division. There's guys that can do a lot of things probably more than me. Guys can squat more than me, bench more than me. But when it comes to just total strength and muscular endurance and knowing how to pace yourself and knowing how to use endurance, I believe I'm one of the most fit athletes in the game, whether I look like it or not. Um, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the future. I think some of my best performances are going to be coming within the next year or so.
Like you said, performances, so that means more than one. But I guess you made it clear that you said you want Stipe next. A timeline? Is there anything? I mean, are you have a date circled on the calendar yet, or do you have an idea like what would make the most sense for you?
I got to talk to my coaching staff and see how, what they think. But we took zero damage tonight, and I'm getting right back to practice. My buddy Maurice Green has a fight coming up in the PFL. Jorgen De Castro has a fight coming up in the PFL, and I owe it to my team to take the back seat and be the training partner. And that's exactly what we got to do. We get right back to work. And I believe in my next fight, I'll go into it with a different level of confidence, an even higher level of confidence. I believe that I'm going to look really great. I'm going to have even higher endurance than I had today, which is going to be hard to beat because I'm in really great condition. And these guys in the back acting like nuts. I can't take you. I can't take you guys anywhere. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the next fight is gonna be awesome. I say it respectfully to Stipe. I would take time off from being a firefighter right now, and I mean that with all due respect. My whole world is going to be focused on him. This is the biggest opportunity in my life to beat the heavyweight GOAT, and I'm going to give it everything I got, absolutely everything I got. Stipe's talking about the fact that he's heavier than me right now. His head's already in the wrong spot if he thinks weightlifting is going to beat me. He'll never be younger than he is right now. He'll never be faster. And I'm going to not only beat Stipe Miocic, I'm going to finish Stipe Miocic before the championship rounds.
Jon, over here. You had alluded to in your post-fight interview that you felt off with your striking. What was that? Just like nerves or ring rust or what?
Well, there's always a slight filling out process. I actually was dealing with a slight injury before this fight, and I didn't really spar many times. I sparred the total of 3 times in this training camp, and so my striking felt a little unfamiliar. I had drilled a lot. I did a lot of smart drilling, but I didn't spar a lot, and so when I was out there, it was almost like I was trying to remember how to do it, fight on the feet for a moment. But thank God that didn't last too long. I was able to get my hands on him, and that's something I've been doing my whole life. I've been wrestling and grappling my whole life. I feel like my jiu-jitsu is at an all-time high. My wrestling confidence is at an all-time high, and that just may be my style moving forward. You know, getting away from all the kickboxing. I want to save brain cells, and fighting on the ground is just a lot more advantageous.
What was going on with the tape on your toes? They looked like they were cutting it off before you were getting in there?
Yeah, so I used a different tape. I usually use a certain brand of tape. I'll give them a shout out, War Tape. And I feel like it's just a lot stickier. I used the UFC's tape tonight, and as soon as my body started to sweat, the tape was sliding all over the place. And so I made almost like a little cast around my toe that linked down to the middle of my foot, so that the tape wouldn't slide off my toes. And when I got out there, the commission was just like, "You can't tape your feet." And I'm like, "Dude, I've always taped my feet. I'm not going to compete if I can't tape my toes. I just won't do it. I want everyone to know that for the future." So thank God we didn't have a disaster out there tonight. But they ended up changing the tone a little bit. They allowed me to keep my toes taped, and they had made me take the rest of the tape off the rest of my foot. And it was a nice little distraction going into the fight. One thing about my job is that it throws curveballs, and we got to be able to think on the fly, and we got to be able to improvise. And so I just stayed calm. I just said, "Jon, it's nothing much. Just stay cool, keep your head in the game." And we got the tape off the rest of my foot, and I was able to go out there and proceed to the mission.
Jon, to your left. You've always been a popular fighter, but it seems like this week you've gone to another level, right? The press conference, I know you really enjoyed that, the way the crowd reacted to you. What was it like tonight? You kind of got the biggest pop of all when you got in the cage. The place went nuts. And, a lot of times you've been the bad guy. Right now you were the good guy, and everybody was happy to see you. What did that feel like for you?
When I first got into the UFC, I would talk about God a lot and wanting to be a good person. And then people got to see that my life wasn't perfect, that I make mistakes, and that I sin, and that I fall down. And I think for a long time, people looked at me as just an incredibly fake individual. And I think as of right now, I think people can just see that I'm a human, that I do love God, but I'm a human. And Christians aren't perfect. And I just think I'm more relatable to people than I've ever been. And despite how many times I mess up, I do try to stand for good and something that's bigger than me. And I just think there's a relatability that I have with people, where either you absolutely hate me or you're just learning to understand the man that I am. And I just think it's going over well for me.
When did you adopt that attitude, right? I mean, how and when did it change?
I came into the game young, and I think I was like 21, 20 years old when I joined the UFC, 19 something. And I'm 35 years old now. I just got off of a big hiatus. I took 3 years off. I got to focus on my family. I got to focus on development as a man. I got to start a care project where I'm giving back to the city of Albuquerque. I got to have a dog that was my best friend. You know what I mean? Just little stuff that had nothing to do with being Jon Bones Jones. And it just helped me put life in perspective. It just helped me realize what an opportunity I have, and I've had a lot of reflection time. I've got to see the belt passed around from champion to champion, and all these guys from different countries become the face of the sport, and it's been awesome to witness. And just today, I just have my head screwed on a little bit more straight than it's ever been, and just more self-aware. And I think people are starting to notice that.
Last question for me. Dana was up here before talking about you being the GOAT and unquestionably the GOAT anymore. And you think in most sports, most people think Michael Jordan, but there's some people think LeBron. Otherwise, NFL, some people think Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback. Other people were arguing last week it was Joe Montana. But it seems in MMA, you have separated yourself to such a degree that there isn't an argument anymore. And I wonder what that rare air up there where you're all by yourself among all these great fighters who have competed, what does that feel like?
It feels great. It feels great. I've been familiar with high praises for a while now, and I'm very aware that pride becomes before the fall. So it's going to be different being the champ again, and everyone's calling you the baddest man on the planet. But my surroundings, my circle, they'll keep me humble. At the end of the day, when I get back to Albuquerque, I'm just another guy on my team, and when I'm at home with my fiance and my girls, with my kids, I'm just another guy. I'm just dad. You know what I mean? So I know that grounding myself is going to be more important than ever. Not getting too big for my britches, continuing to do community work, continue to rub elbows with everybody, not getting high on myself. That's going to be the key to my success. Is just remaining humble.
Jon,
Hey, Jon.
one more in the front, right here. I don't know if you saw, but Francis tweeted, "Good job, Johnny Boy. Sincerely, the heavyweight king." Do you have a response to Francis Ngannou referring to himself?
Francis is a big old pussy.
Hey, Jon. Jon, question over here. Jon, TJ Legacy, ESPN Gainesville. In your time of reflection and perspective over the past 3 years,
I love that quote. I love it. All that muscle with a big ass pussy. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Do you ever think about your MMA mortality? You have the longest win streak in UFC history. Do you ever think about one day it being over? I know Tom Brady called you the GOAT. He just recently hung it up. Do you ever think about your mortality in the sport?
Ask that again. I'm sorry.
Do you ever, during your time of reflection, do you ever think of how long you could keep this going, this domination in UFC? Do you ever think of your MMA mortality?
I just try to take it one fight at a time, 1 year at a time. I just try to take it just one situation at a time. I do fight to try to live forever in some sense, and it's an honor that years from now people will talk about me in barbershops about who was one of the greatest hand-to-hand combatants of all time, and I'm honored. I'm honored that I'd be considered. I'm humbled by it, and I just want more challenges. That's really what it's about for me. Just more challenges.
Jon, I saw you say that you plan on donating your $50,000 bonus to some New Mexico charities. Can you explain a little bit more about what causes you want to work with?
Yeah, the Care Project is something that I created with a group of friends when the pandemic started. Um, we started giving back to our community. Originally, we went out bearing arms, and we were literally willing to fight for our city, and we switched it from being protectors to just guys who gave back. And it's one of the most gratifying things I've ever been a part of. Just giving back to others, and I gotta officially become a 501c3 so that I can do even more. But yeah, this 50,000 will go. I'm not sure what we're gonna do with it. We do things with the homeless. We provide gifts for Christmas. We do a lot of cool things, and it's just gonna go towards that. It's a great bonus, and I'm excited to do some good with it.
And speaking of money, you did not fall victim to the Drake curse tonight. He bet $500,000 on you, and you managed to come through for him. Any reaction to that?
Next question.
What's up? Congratulations, champ.
Hey, how are you, Ellie? Step back.
I'm reporting.
Reporting.
You made it look easy.
Yes.
Tell me
Yes.
about that.
I'm just grateful. I'm just super grateful. I'm grateful. I'm humbled by it. It was a prediction that I had, and I was able to go out there and pull it off. It just makes me believe in my grappling and my physical strength and my wrestling even more so. And I'll work on that strength and make it even stronger for the next fight.
And tell me about Gervonta Davis visiting you at camp.
Oh, it was great to have Tank Davis come out. He was a very humble young man, very humble, very soft-spoken, and his persona on Instagram, he's just this larger-than-life character, But in person, him and his team were very respectful men. They seem like quality guys, and I wish him all the best moving forward in life.
John, down to your right. John, down to your right. Dana was in here, didn't realize that you were having an after party. He was a bit worried. Do you think he has a reason to be worried or not?
Absolutely not. He has no reason to be worried. Dana knows we all make mistakes, and I am not the man. I won't even say that. I'm excited to go out. I'm excited to meet my fans. I'm excited to shake their hands, to look them in the eyes, to give them hugs. I know the tickets were more expensive than they normally are, and a lot of people don't get the opportunity to see me in person, and I want to give as much good energy as I can. So my after party is not about drinking or anything like that. It's about giving back to my fans. It's the same reason why I had a meet and greet earlier in the week. I want to give back to my fans. So everyone over at Hakkasan waiting for me, I hope you guys have the best memories tonight and the best experience.
Hey, John, right back here. Straight in the back. John, I mean, when you talk about a victory like this, comeback, the layoff, win a second title, title second weight class, was there ever any thought of just, this may be the night you could just walk away on top? Did that ever cross your mind to say, hey, it may not even get better than this, it's such a big victory?
It is a big victory, but I feel like you're not the champ unless you defend that belt. And I got at least one more in me, and that's what I'm going to give the fans.
On the topic, when you started the fight, the low blow happens almost immediately. Did that throw off any focus or rhythm? Obviously, right there, that first opening seconds of the fight.
No, to be honest with you, it didn't even hurt that bad. I felt it tingling now, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't enough to actually stop me. I didn't want a strike like that to go unnoticed, so I thought I'd take a timeout, let the ref know that I was fouled, and we could continue. If you notice, I didn't take a very long timeout, but I didn't want things like that, dirty moves, to be unnoticed. I've noticed in a lot of Ciryl Gane's fights, if you look at that Tai Tuivasa fight, one of the shots that actually put him down was a strike to the back of the head. He hits people in the back of the head quite a bit, and I didn't want any type of dirty play happening on such a big night. Guys.
John, just for the French fans, it was a big expectation, so now you are just sorry for them?
No, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry to the French fans at all. This is combat, this is war, and there's no mercy. Guys, merci. Have a great night. Take care.